Good morning. Welcome in for another installment of Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions, featuring Sean Robertson from Gateville Law Firm in Yorkville and online at gatevillelawfirm.com. And Sean joins us in studio. Good morning, Sean. How are we doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing good. We had a good topic last week as everybody at some point is going to be dealing with a real estate purchase, a real estate sale. And this time of year is the time when these things kind of pick up in earnest with lots of activity. We're kind of focusing on a similar topic this week with the real estate attorney during a real estate closing. It can be a very tense and anxious time for the seller, the buyer. There's a lot going on. There's a lot that could go wrong during this part of the process. And that's where you guys come in to help kind of navigate things and make it a smooth transition from buying and selling and moving into your new place or selling your place. So what's the role of the real estate attorney during a closing?
Oh, yeah. So we're kind of like a quarterback. The real estate attorney is like a quarterback. So our goal is to help navigate your closing from the beginning to the end, keep you well informed, make sure your questions are answered, you're communicated well with. But one of the trickiest part of a closing is the beginning during the attorney review and the professional inspection period, meaning that's the 5 business days after the contract is signed. The buyers go inspect the seller's house, and then the buyers and sellers negotiate a resolution if they can. So our job is basically we're like a quarterback. We want to help make sure we move things from the beginning to the end on certain deadlines.
And there are so many things that a buyer or seller might not be aware of on their own. Red tape here and there, and I's to dot, T's to cross, all those things. And you guys obviously are the experts and know all those little details that always pop up.
Yeah, there's a lot of details. And that's one advantage with my team. A lot of them worked at title companies where they have years of experience. And in today's market, you just never know what you're going to come across. Today, and a lot of things can become fires if they're not dealt with quickly. So you need a staff that can answer that email, put out a fire really quick. And if you don't, a lot of times that's a problem.
What are some examples of some of the difficult issues that might arise when we get to closing time?
Like one example is maybe a certain addendum. It could be an amendment to a contract needed to be signed. It needed to be sent to the lender. And if you don't send those things to the lender, it can cause delays. You want to make sure you get the numbers where people know what they're going to have to pay at closing, whether if they're a buyer, what they have to bring to closing. Do they bring a cashier's check? Do they pay wire transfer? And for a seller, you got to make sure you have them sign the documents that they have to sign to transfer ownership of the property and giving them enough time. So these are the type of things that come up, or survey problems where sometimes you will have an encroachment and you've got to deal with it. Or, like let's say, for example, you have a shared driveway and 2 people are responsible, meaning 2 different neighbors are responsible for paying for it. You got issues like that where sometimes from the seller's standpoint, you need to create an agreement because the buyer doesn't want to buy something with those uncertainties. So these are type of things that you just don't know what you're going to have to deal with.
All the different loan types, too, can present a bunch of questions and problems, too, right?
Correct. Like, for example, during attorney review and professional inspection periods, FHA, you're going to have certain safety issues fixed, where conventional, the seller can kind of give a closing cost credit, meaning it's basically giving the buyers money and saying that you deal with it. And then the other issue too is a lot of times, sometimes what we found is some sellers have been given some wrong estimates at the net sheet. And a net sheet is basically an estimate of what they're going to get. So sometimes the net sheet and what they're going to get at closing are different. So a lot of times these are issues that we need to navigate and manage a client's expectations.
Final 30 seconds on today's program. What are some other points we want to get across here?
Yeah, I think one of the major things is we do real estate all over the Chicagoland area in Illinois. We're out of Yorkville, but we handle Kendall, we handle LaSalle, DeKalb, Grundy County, Will, all types of areas. We respond quickly, and we're very experienced, and we only charge if the deal closes. So we get paid on the closing statement, essentially. You don't have to bring an outside check or anything.
All right, yeah. Taking it to the finish line at this late stage, a very important process, and the folks at Gateville Law Firm can help you get there. Sean Robertson, our guest. The show is Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions. Gateville Law Firm in Yorkville, and online at gatevillelawfirm.com. You can call, too, at 630-780-1034. We'll see you again at the same time next week.